everybody? Welcome back to Fandom Fights. It's another title match. We are here. You know what that means, Nick.
What?
It's you, me, and a cold Miller Lite. We are here for the singles title match. Nick, I am very excited about this. We've got current champion Joe Farrelly going up against Albert Wiradharma, finally making his way to the singles title match. A well-deserved contender for this match. What do you think about the matchup, Nick?
I'm very, very excited. Joe proving to be possibly a dominant champion, winning both belts in one go. We don't know what happened with the teams win yesterday, but right now it's just about singles. Joe in his first defense, I'm excited to see what he does now that he has the belt. But Albert is the story here. To think that a little bit more than a year ago, Albert was in a retirement match to possibly be out of the league, and he's come from there all the way up to a contender match where he barely lost to Joe, and Joe went on to win his title and earning a spot to try and get back to it, and he's made it back to it today. So win or lose, it's incredible to see how far Albert's come, and this is step one in Joe making this Joe's year. So great stories all around. I'm very excited.
Absolutely. So no more from us. You don't want to hear about us. Let's go talk to the players right now in the promos.
So look at this. Look at this, buddy.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I've always been like the biggest Albert supporter there's ever been. Way back when you played Bilbo Brandenbuck in season 2 or whatever the fuck his name is. It started out 3-0. I've always believed in you, whether you were on Brooklyn's team until we got you, and you're one of the best players that we've had. And I've loved to see your growth. And look at where we are now. When I gave you the pitch, I think I've proven to myself that I was able to help you, and you've proven to you, and I've helped you, and you've helped me. And now today, we're gonna help each other, and we're gonna take down Joe, or do our very best. Because Joe, at the end of the day, is a great player. Pays me to say that one, traitor and flannel. But good luck to him. But today, hopefully, better luck to us, and like that image.
Kevin, look. If I'm still the champ, sit me next to Benedict and Sam. If I'm not still the champ, you can sit me next to Benedict and Chiwetel. I don't mind. Thank you very much. I look forward to it. Wow. The invites keep coming, don't they, Dave? Since we became champions, it's just VIP all the way through. And by the way, Tim and Nick, thank you for the gift basket. It was lovely.
Look at this. We even have the only 2 Wookiee Mistake t-shirts that Disney allowed people to have. This is a limited edition. That's the champion perks.
Yeah, and we had to take a little break from all the partying, all the VIP parties we were invited for, and get back to some.
I hurt my back in the last one.
Yeah.
That was awful.
You got up on stage. It's not my fault. Anyway, I don't really want this lifestyle to go away. I'm quite enjoying it. So Albert's a great player. He really is. He's sort of just got better and better every match that's gone on. So very, very nervous about this, but confident in my ability after what I've been able to prove so far. So let's do this.
Let's do this.
Buy our shit.
Buy our shit.
Nick, I find it interesting when I first met Joe Farrelly. He was doing his things, playing his trivia. Then all of a sudden he was saying "manners maketh man," and I was like, "Ew, that's weird. Like, why are you saying that? That's not a Joe thing. Why do you do that?" And now he's saying "buy our shit." I know we're supposed to say it too. It just feels weird coming out of Joe and David when last year they were making manners. I don't know. It's always rubbed me weird. I don't know why. But otherwise, delightful promos. Thought they were fun. What'd you think?
I was champion for a year and a half. I didn't get a single call.
Yeah, it's a new thing we started in this year.
I think it was aptly timed. I'm excited. Little bit of another layer here. Forgot to mention that Joe did win the team's titles as well by beating Albert. That was the thing Albert was referencing on his television. I got up in close.
Oh, I didn't even look. Damn it!
I always like to see what's there. So a little bit of an extra layer there. Albert may be looking for a little bit of revenge after he missed out on his first belt. So very excited. Tim, let's play.
Let's do this. Nick, how does round number 1 work?
Round number 1 is going to work as follows. Each player is going to get 10 questions in the realm of Fandom Fights. You have 15 seconds to write your answer down. At the end of 15 seconds, we will say pens down. You will then reveal your answer and say it aloud. If You'll get 1 point for each correct answer at the end of 10 questions. If any player gets all 10 questions correct, you will receive a bonus question. Each player gets 3 repeats, 1 challenge for the entirety of the match. Players, any questions as we get around number 1?
Nope.
All right.
Good luck.
All right.
You too, Joe.
Nick, what's question 1?
Question number 1 comes in the category of Star Trek. Which 2 main crew members are the only ones aboard the Enterprise at the beginning of Star Trek V, The Final Frontier?
So the Kingsmen are known for being loud. Do you think that Albert might be the quietest, but also the most savage of the Kingsmen?
Ooh. I feel like Matthew Chen has some savagery we haven't seen yet.
That's fair. That's fair. I can maybe see Pinchuck bringing some out. 5,
He's not
4,
quiet.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. We're going to start with Albert on this one.
Uhura and Scotty.
And Joe.
Ulu and Scotty.
Uhura and Scotty is correct. So Albert takes the 1 point lead out of question 1 as we get into your next question, which is in the category of the MCU. In Black Panther, what is used to cover T'Challa up while he is unconscious at the Jabari tribe so that he can travel to the ancestral plane? I yelled Black Panther, and now my dog just like suddenly appeared. I wasn't talking about you. You're not a panther.
It's because they're different.
Yeah, they're not the same. They're the same. But he came around.
But also, I don't want to talk too much about movies that we're asking about, Tim.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Joe.
Snow.
And Albert.
I said ice.
Snow is correct. I think we can only take snow. So we will be tied up 1-1. No perfect rounds today. What is next, Nick?
The next question will come in the category of Mission Impossible. Which Mission Impossible film features Ethan escaping a restaurant by causing an explosion that floods the restaurant?
When was the last time you caused an explosion in a restaurant? And I'm not talking about when you go to Taco Bell. Am I right, Nick? Get it? Because
you're talking about very serious crimes, Tim.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
No joking.
5, 4, 3.
This was not okay for Ethan.
1. Pens down. It was not okay for Ethan to do. Let's go to Albert.
Mission Impossible.
And Joe.
Mission Impossible.
Both are correct. 2-2 as we get into your next question, which is in the category of the worlds of DC. Who plays Billy's foster sister Mary in Shazam? And we will accept either version of the character. The regular or the Shazam version.
Correct.
I guess you could say. And I also didn't say Shazam. So there's that too. 5.
I always put
4,
the exclamation point,
3,
but then when it's at the end,
2,
it's followed by a question mark.
1.
So it's like Shazam.
Pens down. Yeah. God damn
Grace
it.
Fulton.
And Albert.
Grace Fulton.
Both are correct. So we also would have accepted Michelle Borth. So, hey.
Your next question will come in the category of Disney animation. In Ralph Breaks the Internet, what are Ralph and Vanellope trying to buy from eBay?
Oh, boy.
I haven't seen it in a while.
I really like this movie. Everybody shits on it. I think it's really entertaining.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a shill. So.
One word for you, Tim. Meh.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Boring.
1. Pens down. Let's go to Albert.
A new steering wheel for Vanellope's game.
And Joe.
Steering wheel.
We can accept both of those answers. So we are still tied 4-4 as we get into your next question, which is in Fandom Quotes. Which YA character said the quote, "I can't see past you and your pack of mutts"?
You have one of those.
A mutt? Yeah. I do. He's all sorts of crap. I don't even know.
Oh, wow. He's right there.
Well, no, he left the room. He's back by Mama now.
Good, he can hear you.
He can hear me, but he's stupid. So 5, 4,
Yeah.
3,
Nice.
2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Joe
Edward Cullen.
and Albert.
I said Alice Cullen.
Alice Cullen is correct. So Albert will take a 1-point lead, making it 5-4. As we get into the next one, what is it, Nick?
It's in the category of Star Wars. Keira Knightley and Sofia Coppola appear in which Star Wars film?
Coppola. Oh, that's fancy. Look at you. You like that one?
Did you just do the Ricola, Joe?
I mean,
Ricola.
5,
It's really like one of my
4,
favorite Who's
3,
Line Bits.
2.
Question?
All right, that's going to be Albert's first repeat.
All right, the question again. Keira Knightley and Sofia Coppola appear in which Star Wars film?
What was David yikesing? Was he yikesing me saying my dog was stupid? Because if that's what it was, David, I'm sorry, but it's the truth.
It was 4 minutes ago. You
It
want me
was.
to check the tape?
Yeah, we should probably go back. We should probably stop what we're. Oh, the poop joke. Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
Hey, that was a good one. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Albert
The Phantom Menace?
and Joe.
Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Both are correct. So that repeat paid off for Albert. It is 6-5 in favor of Albert as we get into your next question, which is in the category of Middle Earth, my favorite. Who is the son of Belladonna Took in the Middle Earth series?
You can't say every category is your favorite, then.
I say that 2 are my favorite.
That alone is a nonsensical statement.
Well, 1 is favorite, 1 is least favorite.
So why would you lie about one of them?
I don't lie about it.
You call it your favorite.
I'm paraphrasing. 5, 4,
No,
3,
you're lying.
2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Joe
Bilbo Baggins.
and Albert.
Bilbo Baggins.
Both are correct. Keeping pace. What's next, Nick?
Your penultimate question will come in the category of horror icons. The question is, in the original A Nightmare on Elm Street, after what kind of event does Nancy describe the man in her dreams to her father, including that he's burned and has a weird hat and sweater?
We need a sweater guy. I don't think we have anybody in the community that just like is always in a sweater.
Okay, I was gonna ask, do you mean like a guy that always wears sweaters, or a guy that can like get you a sweater anytime you need?
No. We don't need a sweater guy. Like, hey, you get me a sweater.
Like you're out on the town and someone's like, oh, it's so cold, and you're like, hang on.
Like Cody is a hat guy. Like he always wears a hat. I need a sweater.
He can't get you a hat.
No. 4,
any moment you need a hat.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Albert
A funeral?
and Joe.
Funeral?
Both are correct, specifically Rod's funeral, but we will accept funeral. All right, guys, we are on to your next question. This is your final question of round number 1. It is in the category of Marvel. Cletus Cassidy bites which part of Eddie's body, causing him to gain the Carnage symbiote in Venom? Let There Be Carnage. You love this film. Your favorite film of 21. You saw it twice in the theater.
One word. Or sound.
It's my favorite. Yeet! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's go to Joe
Hand.
and Albert.
I said finger.
Hand is what we have. So hand is the correct answer. We are tied 8.
I wasn't sure if it was hand or arm, and I nearly just put the bit between the elbow and the fingertips.
So at the end of round number 1, we are all tied up, Nick. 8-8. Is that what you have?
That's what I have, Ken.
All right. So we are going to get into round number 2. How's it going to work?
Round number 2, going to work like this. It is the wheel round. Each player will get a spin at the wheel that has 10 fandom categories on it. Spinners and opponent's choice left off per request of the champion. Each player will get a spin at the wheel. If they like what they spin the first time, they can keep it. If not, they can choose to spin again, but they will be forced to keep what they spin the second time. You'll then get 5 questions in each chosen category, each worth 2 points apiece. Unless you would like to check down to multiple choice, in which case it will only be worth 1. And be on the lookout as stealing is available in round number 2. Tim, what is on the wheel today?
On the wheel today, brought to you by Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, and Voodoo for some fucking ungodly reason. The wheel is Disney Animation, scores and soundtracks, YA, Star Trek, Jimmy B, James Bond, Disney Live Action, Star Wars, Pixar, Middle-earth, and Fandom quotes. So, Joe, you are the champion, and because we are tied, you will have preference here. Would you like to spin first or defer to Albert?
I think without spinners and opponents, I think it's just play it the way we usually do.
Yep.
Spin away.
All right. So, Joe, this is what you are. Well, this is your first spin. It lands on scores and soundtracks. Would you like to keep that or spin again, Joe?
This is one of those ones that's in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah. But
And there's likely to be stuff from strengths in there.
yeah, honestly,
I think we can still afford to fish in this category, I think.
I was going to suggest go fish. Yes.
Spin it again.
Okay.
Please.
So now this is what you're going to be stuck with, Joe. It lands on Star Wars.
Cool.
All right. So, Nick, would you go ahead and give Joe his questions in the category of Star Wars?
Gladly. Joe, are you prepared for your questions in the category of Star Wars?
Probably more than the others.
All right. Your first question. Which Star Wars film's crawl opens with the words, "It's a time of uncertainty"? In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Multiple choice.
All right, your multiple choice options are: is it A, Attack of the Clones, B, The Empire Strikes Back, C, The Force Awakens, or D, Revenge of the Sith?
Repeat the options, please.
Sure. Your options again is A, Attack of the Clones, B, The Empire Strikes Back, C, The Force Awakens, or D, Revenge of the Sith.
The Empire Strikes Back.
That is incorrect. Albert, chance for a 1-point steal. Your options are A, Attack of the Clones, B, The Empire Strikes Back, C, The Force Awakens, or D, Revenge of the Sith.
Attack of the Clones.
That is also incorrect. We were looking for C, The Force Awakens. All right. We'll move on to your second question, Joe, unless you look a little...
David, can I bring David in?
Yes, you can.
What is
What was the exact wording of the question, please?
You want to hear the
Do you hear the question?
Please.
Which Star Wars film's crawl opens with the words, "It's a time of uncertainty"?
It's
Aren't the
not
first words Luke Skywalker has vanished?
That's of the Force Awakens. Yes.
Yeah, that's why I didn't go for it. I'm sure the first words. I think it's pretty well said it comes after that. I might be wrong, but
I'm pretty sure it's Luke Skywalker has vanished. Yes.
yeah.
I'm
We're
not sure
gonna
about. I'm not sure about Empire, but Force Awakens.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't. That's what confused me.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to challenge. I believe the opening words are Luke Skywalker has vanished.
All right. We'll be right back after this challenge.
All right, we are back from the challenge. We looked into it. Yes, Joe was correct. That is, we had it wrong. We had the question wrong. So we are going to be giving Joe a new question in the category of Star Wars, as none of the answers we had in the question were wrong. So, Joe, you're going to get a new question read to you by Nick.
Joe, your first question, category of Star Wars. What does Obi-Wan leave to do while Han and Luke attempt to save Leia in A New Hope?
Deactivate the tractor beam.
That is correct for 2 points. Your second question. In Attack of the Clones, after Anakin has killed the Sand People, which Force-using character is then seen hearing Qui-Gon cry out, "Anakin, no"?
Yoda.
That is correct for 2 points. Your third question. Who plays General Veers in The Empire Strikes Back?
Julian Glover.
That is correct for 2 big points. Your penultimate question in Star Wars. In Solo, what hand does Lando have to ultimately beat Han at Sabacc the first time they play together?
Straight staves.
That is incorrect. Albert, chance for a 2-point steal.
Full sabacc.
That is correct for a 2-point steal.
1 for 2.
All right. And Joe, your final question in Star Wars. What is the name of the captain of the First Order dreadnought that Poe and the rebels destroy at the beginning of The Last Jedi?
Captain Kennedy.
That is correct for 2 more points at the end of Joe's round 2.
So I got Joe up to 16, but with the steal in there, Albert's at 10. Is that what you have?
Correct.
Okay, so we bring back the wheel and Mr. Coho.
Good job, Albert.
Here is
Thank
the
you.
spin for Albert.
All right, buddy.
This wheel likes scores and soundtracks. It lands on scores and soundtracks.
I would say we can respin that, unless you feel like really good about it. But
Yeah, let's respin.
Okay, this is what you are stuck with, Albert. Nobody wants the scores today, I guess. Lands on James Bond.
All right, use your repeats. You're good. Work way through it.
All right. So, Albert, I will be giving you your questions in the category of James Bond. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
First question. Which James Bond film features a glass manufacturer called Vanini Glass, which hosts a destructive fight between Bond and the villain's henchmen? Five, 4, 3.
Moonraker.
That is correct for 2 points. Your next question. What city does Skyfall open in?
Multiple choice.
All right, your options are A, Johannesburg, B, Cairo, C, Istanbul, or D, Athens.
Istanbul.
That is correct for 1 point. Your third question, Albert. Who directed The World Is Not Enough? Five.
I need multiple choice.
All right, your options are A, Mark Forster, B, Michael Apted, C, Roger Spottiswoode, or D, Lee Tamahori.
Michael Apted.
That is correct for 1 point. Your fourth question, Albert. What is the name of Cara Milovi's Stradivarius cello?
I'll read the question too.
Sure, go for it.
What is the name of Cara Milovi's Stradivarius cello in The Living Daylights?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll take the multiple choice again.
All right, your options are A, the River Lily, B, the Morning Star, C, the lunar light, or D, the Lady Rose?
Can I hear the options again?
Yes, you can. Is it A, the river lily, B, the morning star, C, the lunar light, or D, the Lady Rose?
B.
B is incorrect. Joe, chance for a 1-point steal. Your options again are A, the river lily, B, the morning star, C, the lunar light, or D, the Lady Rose.
It's the Lady Rose.
That is correct for a 1-point steal. And Albert, your final question in the category of James Bond. Who kills Tilly Masterson in Goldfinger?
Oh.
Five, 4, 3.
Hot Job?
That is correct for 2 points. And Nick, coming out of Albert's spin, we are at a 1-point game. Joe with 17, Albert with 16. Is that what you have?
That's what I have.
All right, we are going to head into round number 3. It's my favorite round. It is the filmography round. Here's how this is going to work. We've got 2 clues leading to an actor or actress. You will have to tell us who that actor or actress is based on the clues that we give you. So you will have 3 questions, a 1, a 2, and a 3-pointer. Joe, you are in the lead. Would you like your questions from set 1 or set 2?
Set 2, please.
All right, so Albert, you will be going first. Before we answer any questions, do you guys have any questions about how the round is going to work?
All good.
Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, Albert still has 3 repeats remaining. Joe has all 4, and both challenges are intact. Yes?
Yep.
Okay, so Albert, you are going to be getting your questions from set 1. I gave you your questions in round 2, so Nick, go ahead and give Albert his questions.
All right, Albert, your first question in round number 3, set 1. Your 1-point question. Who plays a Worlds of DC queen and a psychologist in a DC Batman movie?
Nicole Kidman.
That's correct for 1 point. And a tie game. All right, Albert, your second question worth 2 points. Who plays an Alien versus Predator victim and a Mission Impossible villain?
Sean Harris.
That is correct for 2 points and the lead. And Albert, your 3-point final question in round 3.
Mm-hmm.
Who voices a DreamWorks rodent and plays a Wizarding World wizard?
Five, 4, 3.
Repeat the question.
All right, that is Albert's second repeat. Any question again? Who voices a DreamWorks rodent and plays a Wizarding World wizard?
Five, 4, 3.
I just need to repeat.
All right, that is your third repeat. You have 1 remaining. The question again. Who voices a DreamWorks rodent and plays a Wizarding World wizard?
Five, 4, 3.
Karen Hines.
That is unfortunately incorrect. We're looking for Timothy Spall.
Okay.
We have waving in the back.
Can I issue? Bill Nighy is in Flushed Away and the Wizarding World also. So technically, there'd be multiple answers to this question. If you said DreamWorks Rodin is the question, right?
Yes.
Okay, DreamWorks Rodin and Wizarding World Wizard.
That was the question, yes.
Okay, then there are two answers. Bill Nighy fits both those descriptions. That'd be my challenge if you want to issue it, Albert.
Might as well.
All right. We'll be right back after this challenge. We're back from the challenge. Here's what's going to happen. This has kind of happened before in the Fandom triple threat, where there was an example where there were two possible answers. Had Albert given a correct answer, Bill Nighy would be an acceptable answer. But had Albert given Bill Nighy, we could have given Albert the 3 points. Because Albert did not say a correct answer, we can't give him the 3 points. But Coho and Albert will be keeping their challenge, since this is a pretty unprecedented moment. With there being two answers like this and neither one being guessed. So that is the ruling. Albert will not get the 3 points, but Albert will keep his challenge.
Okay, so we are going to move over to Joe for your set of questions. Joe, are you prepared for your questions in the set 2 of the filmography?
Sure.
Okay, your first question. Who plays an MCU Asgardian warrior and a Marvel Woman in Black?
Tessa Thompson.
That is correct for 1 point. Your next question. Who plays a Middle-earth henchman and a horror icon's police officer?
Brad Dourif.
That is correct for 2 points and the lead. All right, Joe, your 3-point question. Who plays a Pixar lord and a Bond ally? Five, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question, please.
All right, that is going to be Joe's first repeat. Who plays a Pixar lord and a Bond ally?
Nothing else is coming to mind. Robbie Coltrane.
That is correct for 3 points. So Joe getting his total up to 23 to Albert's 19. We have a 23-19! 23-19! We have a 23-19! We have a 23-19. I just scared the shit out of my dog. Okay, we are going to get into round number 4. It's the deep cut round. Here's how this is going to work. The players drafted categories and movies based off of those categories. They are all on a beautiful wheel brought to you by wheeldecide.com. We're going to spin that wheel 5 times to get 5 different deep cut questions from 5 different movies. Hopefully, I pray to God. But, you know, that doesn't happen usually. So each question is going to be worth 2 points apiece. Albert has 1 repeat remaining. Joe has 3. And both challenges are still intact. Gentlemen, do we have any questions before we spin the wheel for the first time?
Nope.
Okay, then I will bring up your deep cut wheel. The wheel or the movies on the wheel today are Star Trek Beyond, Muppet Treasure Island, License to Kill, Finding Nemo, The Suicide Squad, Thor Ragnarok, Star Wars The Clone Wars, and Shrek. So this is going to be the first movie that you get a question from, and it's going to be Muppet Treasure Island. So, your first question in Muppet Treasure Island. Rizzo says that if he had the treasure map, he would trade it for what? You are afraid of these characters.
Yep, because scary.
They're not that bad. They're lovely, actually.
They're terrible.
5.
I hosted Math
4,
by myself the other day, and I
3,
trashed
2,
on the Muppets the whole
1. Pens down. Let's start with Joe.
A decent meal.
And Albert.
I just said for a meal.
That's you.
I think because in the movie he says a decent meal, that was shit. No, I think we can accept both because decent is kind of the adjective there. I would say a meal. Yeah, we can accept both. So
You didn't say specifics, so
yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning towards.
I'm not
on
challenging
why
it.
that. So yeah, we can give both the point. Joe goes up to 25, Albert at 21.
Correct.
So bring back the wheel. Here's the spin for the next one. And it's a license to kill. Nick, you want to go ahead and give a question in License to Kill?
Your question, License to Kill. How much money is in the briefcase that Killifer offers to Bond?
Most amount of no, we can't ask that. That would be silly. Have you ever seen a briefcase before?
Have you ever killed a fur?
I just saw a film that had 6 of them.
I did too.
I was
did
thinking
that as
the same thing. 5, 4, 3,
none
2,
of them mattered.
1. Pens down. Well, I mean, the chillin' is cute. Let's go to Albert
2 million?
and Joe.
2 million.
Both are correct. Keeping pace as we get into the next spin. All right, guys. This is going to be your third question. It's going to be from The Suicide Squad. All right, guys. Your question in The Suicide Squad. What specifically does Harley say was the red flag that made her kill President Luna? When was the last time you had a decent meal?
What do you consider decent? Like
Wendy's.
Oh, long time.
Yeah, that's fair.
There isn't even one around. I haven't even
5,
seen a Wendy's in
4,
like the new place that I
3,
live.
2,
I don't know where it is.
1. Pens down. Let's go to Joe.
Killing kids.
And Albert.
Killing children.
Both are correct. So Joe goes up to 29. Albert up to 25. We are moving on to the fourth question of this round. It is going to be from License to Kill. Nick, go ahead.
Your question in License to Kill. Q shows Bond 2 items before he shows him the camera. Name both of them. We'll take general for both.
General
For both.
for both.
I read from the same movie.
Yeah, you did. Remember when we used to
repeat
have
that?
to...
Sorry.
Yep. Joe using a second repeat.
Your question again. Q shows Bond 2 items before he shows him the camera. Name both items.
Remember when we used to have to deep cut Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom?
I don't think we ever did that.
No, I did the first one, I think. 5,
Yes.
4,
I've definitely had
3,
to cut that.
2, 1. Pens down, Joe. We will start with Albert.
Is that toothpaste and explosive alarm clock?
And Joe.
Yeah, I had plastic explosive in the detonator, but yeah.
Albert is correct. So Albert will close that gap a little bit, making it, I can't do math, 27 to 29. 2-point game as we get into the final question of the deep cut round. Here's the spin. Thank God. Finding Nemo. Not again. Okay. Gentlemen, your question in Finding Nemo. What condition does the child seahorse say he has?
I usually get quiet around this time of the match.
Yeah, I do too. I was thinking the same when it gets close or getting towards the end. I'm like,
Good
shit,
man.
I don't want to say anything.
Yeah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Joe, we're gonna start with you.
He's obnoxious.
And Albert.
H2O intolerant.
H2O intolerant is correct.
Oh,
And
wow.
Nick, we are all tied up going into round number 5, the betting round. Here's how it's going to work. We are going to say a category. The players are then going to have to decide whether they want to bet 0, 1, or 2 on the question. If they get the question right, they will gain those points. If they get the question wrong, they will lose those points. We will play until someone is mathematically eliminated or we have run out of questions. So, competitors, Albert, you have 1 repeat remaining. Joe, you have 2. Both challenges intact. Any questions?
Nope.
All righty then. So your first category that you guys are going to be able to bet points on is going to be the Worlds of DC. Let's get bets starting with Joe.
2.
Albert.
2.
Okay, your question in the Worlds of DC. What is the name of the general who Superman confronts at the end of Man of Steel and appears as Secretary of Defense in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice? We just need a last name.
I didn't know.
That is what I was wondering. Oh man, this is fucking nuts. Why have all these matches have been so good? Like, oh man. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Joe, we're gonna start with you.
Swanwick.
And Albert.
Swanwick.
Both are correct. So Joe gets his total up to 31. Albert also getting his total up to 31. We're still tied. Nick, what's the next category?
The next category is Star Trek.
Albert, let's get a bet starting with you.
2.
And Joe.
2.
What's the question, Nick?
Question is, comedian Adam Scott appears in which Star Trek film? That was a difficult word.
Kamimimum.
Kamimimum.
Cinnamon.
Well, what are you going to do?
Shit happens, man. Oh, my God. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's start with Albert on this one.
Star Trek First Contact.
And Joe.
Star Trek First Contact.
Both are correct. We stay tied. I'm going to throw up. Okay, your next category that you guys can bet points on is the MCU. Let's get bets starting with Joe.
2.
And Albert.
2.
All right, your question. In Black Widow, in order to demonstrate the extent of her mind control ability, Melina demonstrates on a pig by telling it to do what? I like this movie.
Yeah, it's not bad. Would have been much better as the second film of the MCU or third, but
Well, no, because then it wouldn't have made a lot of sense. It takes place later.
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah. I watched it at an airport a couple weeks ago. 5.
At an airport. How long were you at an airport?
A long time. 1. Pens down, had a bad layover. Let's go to Joe.
Stop breathing.
And Albert.
Stop breathing.
I'm going to stop breathing. That's correct. It's 35 to 35. What's the points record, Nick?
It is Joe's record, actually, of 41. But
okay. All right. So what's the next category, Nick?
the next category for which you can bet points on is Alien versus Predator.
Let's get bets starting with Albert.
2.
And Joe.
2.
All right. Big question. What is it,
Question.
Nick?
The question is, what does Royce note is peculiar about the sun before the group realizes they are on an alien planet in the film Predators? I can.
I'm turning the shade of your background. I'm not even playing, and I'm just really nervous.
What do you mean the shade of my background? I'm on a beach right now.
1, pens down. No, you're not. Let's go to Albert.
The sun never sets.
And Joe.
It hasn't moved.
And your winner and still champion, Joe Farrelly. The answer is it hasn't moved. It hasn't moved. So Coho looks like he wants to be brought in.
We would like to throw a challenge that Albert's answer is also acceptable.
All right, we'll be right back after. All right, we are back from the challenge. Here is what we've decided. Ultimately, this was a really, really tough call. Ultimately, what we decided was while Joe's answer was correct, Albert's answer was not incorrect. It wasn't exactly what we were looking for, but it also could be perceived as a correct answer. It was very wishy-washy, very muddy. So we ultimately decided, based on precedent and a third opinion and a bunch of stuff, looking at the scene, lots of stuff went into this. We are going to give a new question. So the bets will stay the same. Both players will have to bet 2 points. We're still tied 35-35, and both players will be getting a new question. And that question will be read to you right now by Nick.
Your question in Alien vs. Predator. What rank in the LAPD does Danny Glover's Michael Harrigan hold in Predator 2?
Have you seen this movie before?
What?
What's in your cup?
Nothing.
Nothing. It's gone.
Anymore.
It's gone. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We're going to start with Albert.
Captain.
And Joe.
Lieutenant.
And your winner. And still Fandom Fights champion of the world, Joe Farrelly. Lieutenant was the correct answer. Nick, fucking hell of a match. A barn burner from beginning to end. Albert getting a category in round 2 he didn't seem excited about, but made his way through, kept it close the whole time with the champ, all the way down, tied throughout that final round, coming down to the penultimate question. What a nutty match. What'd you think?
Yeah, my heart hurts. That was one of the people don't see what happens behind the scenes. That was one of the most difficult challenges I've ever been a part of. It wound up not mattering. The same result happened with Joe hitting that last question. It does not take away from what an insane match this was from beginning to end. Being tied out of round 1, Albert taking the lead several times in round 1, Joe coming out with a 1-point lead out of round 2, with a 4-point lead out of round 3, only for Albert to tie it back up going into round 5.
Yeah.
Incredible, insane match. Joe's a great champion. Albert will be a champion one day. I have no doubts.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
All right, let's get into post-match interviews, starting with Albert.
Albert, as I said, I'm glad it didn't come down to that muddy challenge.
Yeah.
Glad we got a new question in there, and it went down the way it did. That being said, you still got all the way to question number 4 with a champion like Joe, even beating him at many points in time, outplaying him in round 4. You played a hell of a title match, worthy of a championship if Joe didn't play the game he played. How are you feeling about your first ever singles title shot, and will there be more in the future?
It's very overwhelming, especially with how the outcome was. If I were in a not future title match, hopefully it doesn't come down to a situation like this again, because it's stressful even backstage. But yeah, no, it was an insane game. That the rodent question, I think, is probably might be the miss that will bug me the most, because I'm stuck on a different film with the DreamWorks the whole time, and I just couldn't think of a different DreamWorks film. And I burned 2 repeats on it, and that didn't pay off. As well, some round 1 stuff. But it was an intense game, definitely.
Mr. Coho, you have nothing but pride in Albert that you've shown. Is that pride gone now, or has it only heightened?
No, absolutely gone. No, I think I've never been more proud of Albert than today. This performance, the way he came back, the way he kept it close. I think the widest gap we had was like 4 points the entire game. The perseverance that Albert put into this game all the way to the end of round 4, where we were just tied. I almost wish there was a cam on me backstage.
It was great.
I was dying.
It was great.
I was cheering. I was jumping. I threw my board at one point. It was insane. Albert is great, and I've never been more proud of the growth and transformation and dedication in one player than I have seen in Albert. We got here this time. We will be back here again very soon. I know Albert will be back here, and whether we're playing Joe or Scully or whoever is at the end of the next one, Albert's going to come back and put up another incredible fight, and whoever's here, get ready, because Albert's coming for a belt this year. It's going to happen.
Awesome. Love it. Love to hear it. Heck of a performance today. We can't wait to see you next time. As we bring in our winner and still champion, Joe Farrelly. Joe, that is not the first time Albert has made you sweat. It's not the first time we've made you sweat because we were deliberating for a long time. But at the end of the day, you kept a cool, calm head. You got the question right that you needed to, and you put the game away after a very back and forth match from beginning to end. So with this, Joe, you have a couple stats in the book. Obviously, from your last match, we didn't mention it then, but you broke the points record. You now hold the 5-round singles points record. You are now officially only the third person in history to defend the singles title belt. Singles Fandom title belt.
Fandom fight singles belt.
That's what I was trying to say. And you did it against the guy who made you earn it. So how are you feeling about the match today, knowing that?
A lot calmer than I was about 10 minutes ago, if I'm honest. Look, Albert played one of the best games I've ever seen. I mean, there's no lie. You saw that wheel in round 2. It wasn't the kindest wheel. Some of the categories on there weren't great. But I think the luck came in round 1 and round 5, because round 1 was very geek heavy and round 5 was all geek. And that's where my strengths are. I mean, I'm doing okay at the others, I suppose. But the point being, geek is where I started and it's where I'm strongest, and that definitely works in my favor. Even the wheel in round 2 was kind to me in the end. Star Wars and Bond for Albert is the ideal situation, and Albert cleverly multiple choiced his way through that round and did very, very well. I see him struggling on a couple of questions, and when he pulled them, I was ready to pounce, and he still managed to pull them. Played a fantastic match. This just gives me a bit more time to improve where I need to improve.
Absolutely. David?
The fact that Joe defines him being okay at other categories makes me like, fuck you.
Yeah, you saw the percentages I sent you earlier.
But I'm still literally shaking about. It's so stressful, and Albert is such a great player that he will never, even if he falls behind, we have played Guns and Ships before, and with the exact same situation of them coming back from behind.
Yep.
And so we knew this was going to happen, and it wasn't a perfect match. We missed the Star Wars. We missed 2 deep cuts.
Yeah,
so
that Star Wars one, I definitely had my writer's head on from writing questions on. So I was like, this is a title match. It's probably going to be the harder one. I knew I was going full sabbatical, straight stays. Yeah, straight stays probably harder for a title match. I'll go with that.
But I think that the fact that Joe was able to persevere and get the win after a tense match that wasn't perfect shows that he has what he needs to be a great dominant champion. So yeah.
Couldn't agree more. Joe, you have defended this belt, which means you will defend it again with whoever comes out of the 16-person summer singles tournament. Tim and I will reveal in a couple days, canonically, the full tournament. But obviously in there, you got your Kastners, you got your Davids, you got your Holtzmans, you got your Scullys, anyone you're looking to or expecting to come out of that tournament on top?
He's already got one belt. Why shouldn't he challenge for another?
No.
And just to fix that, because I remember what you said about the scheduling. He's already had one belt. There's no reason he can't have another.
One of those two statements is
That's funny. I might use that. All right.
great job, Joe. Congratulations on the defense. We'll see you next time. Timmy.
Yeah, this was nuts. I said it before, saying it again. This is one of the best title matches. Joe, I guess, puts up really good fucking title matches because the one against Scully was fucking nuts, and now this one was just another one that, like, honestly, both match of the year contenders. This is nuts. But congrats to Joe, and congrats to Albert on a really, really great game. He should be really proud of himself. So yeah, this was awesome. So thank you to everybody involved. Thank you to Nick for helping, right? He fucking wrote the match. I wrote a couple things. I think even Cody wrote some of those license to kill questions. So thanks to Cody too. So thank you to everybody who helped out with the match. Can't do it without you. Thank you to the people out there. You're all wonderful. Enjoy the summer tournament. Enjoy the things, the ladders. I don't know. We'll see you later. Bye.
We are so glad you came. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye now. Bye. Bye-bye. Remember, please discard all candy wrappers and popcorn containers in the nearest trash receptacle. Thank you. Okay, bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye. Okay. Are they all gone? Is everybody gone? Huh? Good.